Welcome back to today's game against the Nausett Warriors. Austin Starr facing off for Nantucket. Nantucket's holding a commanding 10-1 lead to start the second half. Kind of a surprise. We thought that this Nausett team would give Nantucket all they can handle, but it's been the other way around. Bartlett's having a great game. Cam comes up with it after taking the ball away from the Nausett player. Gets a touch inside the box. Victor mishandles for a second, but he's up with it. The big stat in this game has been unforced turnovers for Nausett. Nantucket almost scores on a cut from behind, but Sam O'Keefe almost finishes that. Nantucket has they've scored first in each quarter. Obviously, Nausett's only got one goal, so Terrain up with it. Terrain with 5 goals in the first half. Harnischfeger with 2. Spencer, Sam, and Victor and Austin with 1. I guess Victor has 1 or 2. But it's been a pretty one-sided affair. Nantucket's dominated face-offs, ground balls, time of possession, shots, you name it. Nice play by Spencer.
There we go.
You know, unassisted by Spencer West, and I'll tell you, Gino, all season long, the 3 games we've done prior to this, or the 2 games rather, or 3, I've said that Nantucket needs to develop a dodging threat from behind, and that time that's exactly what you saw. We're going to need that kind of move now and then in the playoffs. I think it's worth noting at halftime, I overheard a conversation between the Nausett coach and the officials. First, he took one of his players out of the game and is not going to put him back in because of discipline issues. The kid that got the unnecessary.
Yeah, he was pretty angry.
And secondly, that Nausett's now playing with basically their JV defense because they have 2 kids hurt. So their long stick should be a vulnerable position to start in this half. See if Nantucket exploits it. They should have blown the whistle there. Bartlett contacted the guy with one hand on his stick, but they didn't see it. Good for us. Oh, right in there. They could have gotten that kid for a high check, gotten for a push instead. They're lucky that they didn't get called for checking him too high. West moves it along to Gambaroni. Nantucket really has the luxury of not being in a hurry now, with an 11-1 lead. Victor goes natural lefty. He's going to come back lefty. Looks inside.
They're going to keep scoring. Oh, hit the post.
A post. Nice look inside by Victor. Nice turn and pop by Terrain. Terrain with 5 goals already. That's a good half a season for most midfielders. And Terrain's been really more of a distributor so far this year, but today I think he anticipated he was going to have to do more, and he sure has. Here he comes again, left. He's going to go back left. He's looking off ball, see if he can feed somebody. He dodged this through a crowd.
He almost slipped that one in there, too.
Spencer West almost missed that backup. Nantucket's going to have to clean that up. They've had 3 or 4 times today when they haven't really been prepared to back up. You know when Terrain's got that ball, there's likely a shot coming, so make sure you can get back there in time. Gambaroni's going to invert here. In other words, as a midfielder, he's going to carry the ball behind the goal into the attacks area. A lot of times that'll make defensive midfielders really uncomfortable. They're not used to playing back there. And here he comes. Nice look.
Oh, what a nice shot that was.
You know, it's funny. That's
in.
Another thing we've talked about is to get Nantucket some offense from behind the goal, they might try inverting their midfielders. I know Coach Gamble and Coach Aloisi were telling me that earlier in the year, and that's exactly what they did. So those last 2 possessions, Victor inverting for this last one, and then Spencer turning the corner for the one before. That's a big help for Nantucket. So now we have a 12-1 lead.
And what's the Slaughter thing? Isn't it 12?
You know, it depends on which official you talk to. It's supposed to be a 10-goal lead in the 4th quarter, but one official told us it was a 12-goal lead. So, but then sometimes in these runaway games, they've let the clock run in the 3rd quarter, which really they shouldn't do at the varsity level. Austin tries to run through a crowd. That's the first time we've seen that today. Not a great idea.
No.
Or was that Austin or was that James Culkins? Maybe I misspoke. Nice interception by Victor Gambroni. That's got to be 11 or 12 unforced turnovers. A little bit of a force.
He wanted to shoot it.
Well, get the ball around the perimeter and get it moving. That's what worked so well in the first half. You see how much better teams play when they think they're going to be challenged. And this Nantucket team today thought they were facing a big challenge, and they've played super well. Sometimes when you play these weak teams...
Yeah, they just are not taking their foot off the pedal since we've been watching this year. They are really going at it.
Well, if you look out there, you see, 3 or 4 seniors at all times at least, and that makes it on offense, and that makes a big difference. These guys have been playing together since the youth level.
That's right.
Under Coach Sam Chambers. Of course, Mark Chambers helps out at the varsity level. And Sam and Jim Hurd do a great job down there at the youth group. Nice look.
Ooh!
Here we go. Good backup there, Spencer. He's ready that time. Not a great take. He's going to take that shot unscreened.
Hit the ground, maybe.
Hit the ground, yeah, exactly.
See, I'm learning about this.
Or throw it low. Throw him a bad pass at his knee level. Nausett's had trouble clearing the ball today. Nantucket's just got 2. Now, I don't know what, I'm surprised to see them award that to Nausett. I guess they got it for a push from behind with no possession. And another mishandle, boy. Oh, the coach is going to, if their coach had a lot of hair, he'd be pulling it out, I'll tell you. Nice play, Spencer. So, throw a flag on that one. Boy, they call that a brush. I don't know. That was a pretty hard check on the helmet. By brush, they mean if you just brush the guy's helmet, they won't call the penalty. But that was more than a brush. One thing I've noticed with Nausett, they keep running themselves into trouble on the sideline by just allowing themselves to be pinned against the sideline. Another turnover.
Yeah.
Another Cam Bartlett. Spencer's open.
There it is.
So
he did the same thing.
Nice take by James Calkins. Nice heady look by Sam McKeith, the sophomore. I'll tell you, this attack is looking pretty darn good today. We haven't been able to really judge them too much earlier before this because the competition was so light. But they're looking really, really good today. That was kind of a casual, just as I say that, Spencer makes a casual play, loses the ball, kind of jinxed him. See if we can get it back. Terrain Burton, he's the best athlete on the field, by far.
Oh, he even faked me out there.
Yeah.
That would have been a great goal, though.
But there we go again. We didn't back the goal up. We got to do that.
Right.
Now, if this is a Cohasset or a Norwell or whatever in the playoffs and it's a one-goal game, that's the kind of play that really hurts you. James Culkins harassing.
Hey, get out! Bro, get out mine! Get out mine! Good job. Don't.
Nice check. And once again,
flag.
Well, they got us for something or other down here. I think they got us for a slash. They got Cam Willett for a cross check. It'll be a 1-minute penalty. Nantucket has not been in the penalty box much today.
They haven't eaten all season, pretty much, have they?
Well, they haven't. I mean, why would they? They haven't even had. They haven't.
That's true.
The other team
They
hasn't
haven't
had
had
the
any
ball.
kind of pressure at all.
But other teams never had the ball in these other games. So this is the first time we've actually seen Nantucket's defense have to, play well, and they are playing very well. Man down.
12-1, 5 minutes left in the third period. Oh, and there's another score.
It's outside the net.
Oh, it was outside. Okay.
Isaac Corbett out there with a long stick. Now he's going to come off. Isaac's kind of a utility guy. Isaac will come off. Terrain's. Oh, nice little pass. Nice.
There he goes.
They could get hit for a slash there. Number 2. Nice look, Terrain. Nice play.
Oh, that's how you do it.
Tic-tac-toe. Burton brings it down. Fires it across to O'Keefe. He could have scored himself, but he made that next pass to West, who's wide open on the backside. So it's 13-1 with 4:51 left in the third quarter. We sure didn't expect to see this. Looks like we'll have running time in the fourth quarter if this trend continues.
Yep.
Ball down. Victor Gambaroni all over it. Another ground ball for Victor. Victor, Austin, Terrain. They're having a great day ground ball wise. Nausett up with it. Splits a couple of Nantucket defenders. See if they can make something happen here. They really have to have any chance of getting back in this game. They've got to score 3 or 4 goals in a hurry, and they do get one.
Nice little try, though,
Yeah.
with the goalie coming out like that, too.
Yeah, and that's you saw there. Nausett can move the ball. These guys are not, the score, shouldn't be what it is were it not for the fact Nantucket's playing very well, and Nausett has countless unforced turnovers. So 13-2 with 4:20 left in the third quarter. Nantucket with an 11-goal lead. Starr gooses it out. Hunter McKechnie picks it up. Good hustle, Hunter. They can throw a flag there. Don't challenge a pole, Hunter. Move the ball. Oh. That's an inexperienced play on Hunter's part. You're bringing it down. You don't want to challenge a long stick. Want to break away and slow up and find the open guy. You have an extra player. But that was a nice hustle play by Hunter. He's made a bunch of them, and he hasn't had a nice goal today. Still a lot of lacrosse to play. Nantucket has to make sure not to let their foot off the gas. Bartlett up with it.
There we go.
Nice
Little pass.
Nice
Bam!
play. Oh, that wasn't Bartlett. That was McVicker. Joel McVicker up with it. Flips it to Cutting West, who goes to the goal and scores unassisted. That was almost an assisted play.
That was a very good catch by
steps.
Spencer.
Really nice play.
Yeah.
14-2. 3:42. I think that's Spencer's third goal today. What's fourth? Fourth goal today for Spencer.
It might be. 4. Yep, 4.
Isaac Corbett on the wing, along with Hunter McKechnie, 2 of the reserves, and was that Isaac facing off? Yeah. Okay, who's 21? Oh, that's Ben Murphy. I'm sorry, stand corrected on the wing. Here's Hunter up with it. Nice play. Oh no. Once again, you got to make good decisions on those breakaways. Ball loose. This is Nausett's reserve defense in there now, with one kid out for discipline reasons and the other 2 injured.
Yeah, they got to see.
This is a young defensive group that Nausett has in there. I'm not sure if the Nantucket coaches know that. I just happened to overhear the Nausett coach talking to the official at halftime, but I'm sure that they can see it's a smallish group physically. It's not the same imposing group that was out there to start the game. And there's a JV game today, I guess, so these guys will have no trouble getting to sleep tonight. Nantucket's a lot. You see it on all levels, but the thing you want to do, cradle it once and move it. But you don't accomplish anything by staring at the ball.
2:35 left in the third period.
Nausett with a nifty little clear there. Runs it down. Coach is calling it for them to settle it. 2:20 and counting left in this third period. Nantucket with a commanding 12-goal lead. Nausett just hasn't been able to win any matchups since early in the game. And by that I mean they haven't been able to beat the Nantucket players and force Nantucket's defense to slide. Joel McVicker's a really pretty darn good defender. And
that was a good pass too. I mean,
it takes a good attackman to beat him, and he didn't have a step that time. Isaac Corbin on defense.
Oh, get up, please, Jack! Jack, get up! Jack, get up!
Oh, what a shot that was!
Yeah, that was a little bit of
that was hard to beat.
That was a tough bounce that ball took. Keegan Downey, I think, was on that ball with his stick. If it had taken an ordinary bounce, I think he would have had it, but kind of like it does on dirt often, it took kind of a quirky bounce and went over his shoulder. 14-3 Nantucket with 1:32 left in the third period. Victor Gambroni up with it. Corbett loses his footing for a second. Minute 22 left. Once again, Nantucket got a good look. Nausett has to worry about a failure to advance here.
And there's...
Except they throw it away.
Yeah, they sure did. And then,
Cam Bartlett shoots at an empty net. Sam O'Keefe up with it. Nausett official calls a timeout. Nausett's coach, rather.
What do you think he's thinking at this point?
Well, a timeout.
Did they have things rolling for a second there, and he just wants to?
And I think Nantucket got a little complacent on a few plays, and I guess the timeout. I won't second guess him because at this point it probably wasn't going to matter. But if you want to have any momentum going into the fourth quarter, it would be nice to kind of steal one here, make it 14-4. It's still a 10-goal cushion, but I'm impressed with the Nausett coach. He was talking to the officials at halftime, being very sportsmanlike, very self-effacing. I think he realizes his guys aren't playing their best today, and he just wants to make sure that they get something out of this, going into the next game. And this is a Nausett team that had an overtime defeat to Barnstable. And I can't help but wonder how this Nantucket team would fare back in the Maritime League. If this is a team on a par with Barnstable, I think this Nantucket team would have a very good chance of winning the Maritime League, which is our old league. And that's a good league.
Is Barnstable a good team?
Over time, they have been, yeah.
But we could beat them now.
Barnstable had a great coach in Greg Clements, and he had a really, really good team. And when he left, the players that he had coached, for the previous 4 years, as their classes moved along and graduated, I think you've seen that program drop off a little bit. But it's still, let's face it, it's a 3,000 or whatever student high school with a lot of athletes and great facilities and everything else. And Chris Whitten does a good job with their team. Once again, I just see Nausett unable to win a matchup and create any offense. And that's also, Nantucket's close defense is good. And they're imposing kids physically. 20 seconds, and there's a good look. That was a nice play. Once again, two's going to carry, try to initiate. Nice defense. Don't overplay him. Victor recovers. One more. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
See, they weren't thinking.
Nobody talked to him well. Saved by the horn,
you gotta talk it up.
Saved by the horn. That was almost a shot. But Nantucket enters the fourth quarter with a commanding 14-3 lead.